Welcome to the Providence College Podcast. My name is Joe Carr. Today, we will relive Commencement Weekend 2023 through the words of speakers who inspired us at a series of ceremonies and events celebrating those who earned Providence College degrees as members of this class. Let us begin with Friday night's on-campus commencement ceremony for those receiving degrees from PC's graduate programs and School of Continuing Education. The commencement speaker was Sheila Harrity, a member of PC's class of 1987, a renowned educator who was named National High School Principal of the Year in 2014. She is currently educator and campus coordinator of the Massachusetts Association of Vocational Educators, and as part of Sunday's undergraduate commencement, she received a Providence College Honorary Doctor of Education degree.
Good evening. Thank you, Father Sicard, for those very kind introduction. It is a great privilege to have been honored with this opportunity to address the 2023 graduates of the School of Continuing Education and graduate program at Providence College. I am humbled by this honor and actually surprised to have been selected to give this address. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that Providence College, an institution that means so much to me, would honor me in this way. I am proud of my continued association with the college that started me on the journey to a meaningful and successful career. As graduates of the School of Continuing Education and graduate program, you are embarking on your own journeys, and I trust that Providence College will mean as much to each of you as it means to me. Providence College preaches that veritas, truth, is both its mission and its motto. A one-word motto may seem simple, but it is anything but. The relentless pursuit of truth at a college that grounds itself in Catholic faith results in the establishment of a community that celebrates loving relationships, diversity, and open and honest thought. What a wonderful antidote to the current discourse that dominates our social landscape. Currently, it seems that all we hear in the public realm are slogans like fake news and cancel culture that curtail honest and open discourse and ignore the pursuit of truth. This rhetoric ignores the fact that we are all Americans and that as such, we share a living history, culture, and community. In contrast, we who have had the opportunity to share in this strong community that is a fact of life at Providence College have been inoculated against the cynicism that marks much of the public life these days. Forever friars, we are friars forever. For me and for many of my classmates, I certainly hope for each of you, this bond means a great deal. It means that we share a common set of values that have shaped the stories and journeys that characterize our lives. For me, this journey began in Worcester, Massachusetts, as the baby of 7 who wanted to embark on a college path and included an opportunity to pursue independent thinking and spiritual development, as well as play basketball. When I arrived at Providence College, I was greeted by a community of students who had similar values, and by Dominican friars and lay faculty who helped me learn to think independently and develop leadership skills. All the while, we learned about the importance of our school community and, more importantly, the responsibility that we had to the wider community. This education was steeped in Catholicism. Sunday evening Mass was packed as we learned the best lessons of Christian love, compassion, and service from our Dominican friars and from our lived experience in this environment. This is not to say that at all the times that I was at Providence College, I was totally in bounds. There was the occasional evening out at a disco. It was the 80s, you know, after all. And perhaps a night or two at Bradley Cafe, especially after a good win. Those cold beers tasted great. But on the whole, my memories of Providence College during that time are dominated by a sense of wholesomeness, positive development, and achievement. During these years, our men's basketball team, coached by Rick Pitino and anchored by Billy Donovan, went to the NCAA Final Four. And our women's team, we featured Doris Burke and Mary Burke. We won the Big East Conference title and was ranked in the top 20 in the nation. While never reaching the skill level of these two stalwarts, I was honored to serve with them as a tri-captain during our senior year. The relationships that were developed during those years at Providence have transcended time and distance. Forever Friars, we quickly pick up where we left off each and every time we meet. Just as my personal relationships that began at Providence College have continued up to this point, the experience that I had at PC and the lessons that I have learned there profoundly shaped the path that my professional life took. At Providence, I learned valuable lessons about leadership and the importance of service that served me well as a school leader throughout my decades of work as a public educator. From my initial work as a teacher in a dropout prevention program in my hometown of Worcester, Massachusetts, to the school leadership roles that marked the end of my professional career, the influence of the Dominican values of service and community were close to my heart. The influence of Providence also showed up in my career in somewhat humorous ways as well. On one occasion, Arnie Duncan, who was the United States Secretary of Education at the time, was a guest speaker at the National Principals Banquet in Washington, D.C. I was brought backstage to meet Secretary Duncan and really was quite overwhelmed and intimidated with meeting Secretary Duncan. And right when I shook his hand, I said only the thing that came to mind: Sheila Harrity, Providence College, Lady Friar, class of '87. We immediately talked because I had known he was a ball player at Harvard, and it was wonderful. 15 minutes passed and we were still talking about PC and the different people that he knew that had walked our campus and were legends here for our school. Several months after his visit, while I was in a receiving line to meet President Obama at the White House, I was informed by the Secret Service that guests should only briefly meet the president and then move on. The president apparently did not get that memo and informed me that Arnie Duncan told him that I had played basketball at Providence College, and he stopped the entire line to chat about basketball for a bit. I could go on and tell more stories about my association with Providence College, as this place has been and will continue to be near and dear to me. But we are not here today to hear my reminiscences. We are here to hear your stories and to celebrate the accomplishments of the class of 2023. While I am not certain of the path that you have taken on your way to PC, I suspect there are a number of interesting stories among our graduates. Some of you continued your studies directly after receiving your undergraduate degree with ambitions to advance your career, while others juggled careers and family responsibilities to pursue an advanced degree. I suspect all of you had to navigate the new normal of a global pandemic as you manage your pursuit of the degree being awarded this evening. All of you should be commended on your accomplishments, and each of your stories is special in its own right. But as we celebrate the accomplishments of the class of 2023, I want to take a moment to share the stories of a few of your classmates that typify some of the challenges that you have faced as you've earned your degrees and the values of leadership and service that was emblematic of the pursuit of truth that is at the heart of Providence College. First, I want to recognize Kinyasha Wuwabeya, who received her master's in business from the Providence School of Business. After working in forensics accounting for 5 years, she returned to college to pursue her master's degree and plans to use her training to help clients detect fraud and to prevent and mitigate losses related to financial crimes. Demonstrating that life goes on as our graduates pursue their studies, She welcomed a baby boy to her home just a month ago. Congratulations to you and your family. Near and dear to my heart as an urban educator is the story of Leon Bales, who is receiving a master's degree in urban education. He is an English language arts teacher in Central Falls and plans to pursue an English as a second language certification this summer in order to better serve the Spanish-speaking members of his community. We'll never outgrow our need for committed urban educators, and I want to commend Leon for his commitment and service to our neediest communities. Congratulations, Leon. Last but not least is Justine Curry. Justine took a rather long and indirect path to her degree, and while seemingly unique, her story may resonate similarities to the paths of some of our graduates. After leaving a career in banking to pursue a marriage and raise a son, Justine faced a crossroad when she went through a divorce. Desiring to set a positive example for her son and to find a new direction for her life, Justine immersed herself in work that served others. She created an organization called Our Greatest Resources Equal Children. With the help of her son, she enlisted the help of other children to raise funding and increase awareness for children who have experienced trauma in their homes. After initial funding success to support New Hope, a domestic violence shelter in Attleboro, Massachusetts, her organization evolved to become Confetti Kids of New England, a leadership development and service organization that teaches leadership skills to young people through their pursuit of service initiatives. The organization has raised significant funds for various nonprofits and was recognized for their outstanding work with a gubernatorial citation by then-Governor Gina Raimondo in 2020. As she graduates, Justine hopes to expand the work of Confetti Kids of New England, and I want to wish her well as she pursues this work. Justine's own words in an article about her path that was posted by the School of Continuing Education captures very well my own feelings about Providence College and feelings that I hope will resonate with each of our graduates this evening. She is quoted as follows: "My experience at PCSCE has been nothing short of magical, as well as a place of faith that I've always called home. By making the decision to attend Providence College School of Continuing Education, my life has changed, giving me clear purpose and direction. But what is even better is I now have an extended family at Providence College." Congratulations to Nyasha, Leon, and Justine, and to all the graduates of the class of 2023. I hope that each of you have pursued and found your personal and professional truth during your time here at Providence College. Please accept my best wishes and hope for continued success, and remember, we are always Friars and Friars forever. Go Friars. Congratulations.
Saturday morning's academic awards ceremony provided the opportunity to recognize several class members for outstanding achievement in their academic pursuits. Psychology professor Saeed Mendoza, winner of the college's Joseph R. Acino Faculty Teaching Award, gave the faculty address.
Thank you so much, everyone. On behalf of ChatGPT, that wasn't supposed to be in there. On behalf of the PC faculty and everyone who has had an opportunity to engage with you at this beautiful college, I want to thank you and welcome you and congratulate you for all your proud accomplishments. You've all worked very hard to be here, and you deserve to be recognized today. But it's also important to remember about all the people who came into contact with you and have supported you during this time, including people who could not be here today, but love and support you. So please give a round of applause to your friends, your families, your partners, your professors. It is a bit odd for me to be standing up here today giving you this speech as the 2023 Achino Award winner. It doesn't feel like that long ago that I was sitting exactly where you are today. Relieved that I had not miscounted my credits. It's a recurring nightmare of mine. Grateful for the friendships I had made in college, both nervous and excited about my next chapter, and of course wondering how I was going to survive the real world without a meal plan. I also remember sitting at these ceremonies and reflecting back on my journey. You see, when I was 2 years old, my family moved from Mexico to the US to pursue the American dream for their children. And as immigrants, they instilled in me early on that education would be the great equalizer. So despite not speaking any English when I first started school, I committed myself to my studying and learning as much as possible so that I could one day repay my parents' sacrifices. These lived experiences and challenges uniquely shaped the way I approached my teaching. As students who have taken my classes and worked in my spa lab, Rosie, Kate, Patrick, Sydney, I know you're out there, I'm proud of you, Nicole. I'm not an easy professor. My exams are challenging, my assignments require a lot of critical thinking, our conversations can be deep and heavy, and my grading has been called tough and strict, but fair. However, I also genuinely care about my students and their lives and seeing them succeed. And more importantly, I want my classes to change the way they see themselves in their roles in society. This is a lesson that I want to leave with you today. Your presence here means that you're a hardworking, determined, and intelligent individual who people will always look to lead. Whether you see yourself as a leader or not, this is a responsibility that you have carried and will continue to carry forth. And what will set you apart from others like you is not your GPA, it's not your degrees or your salary or your promotions, but rather how you choose to lead. It is easy to lead out of self-interest and to be motivated by greed and status. What is not easy is to lead from a place of compassion, to empathize for others. And although it doesn't always seem so, the world has plenty of competent leaders with fancy titles like the ones you will earn. What we truly need more of are kind-hearted ones. And so my challenge for you is to once again take the harder path, as you've always done, and change the narrative about what it means to be a powerful person. Good luck. God bless. Go Friars. If anyone has Taylor Swift tickets, please see me afterwards. I really am desperate need of them. Thank you.
3 members of the class of 2023 finished with perfect 4.0 grade point averages, tied for highest in academic rank. One of those students, Samantha Furtado, a political science and quantitative economics major from New Bedford, addressed the audience.
Good morning, everyone. It is an incredible honor to be standing here today, graced with the privilege of celebrating the academic achievements of the class of 2023. The feeling's almost surreal, as the events that have dominated our past 4 years have made our college experience anything but typical. As a result, the concept of graduating has always seemed, at least to me, like something that was always so far in the future, or something that was just beyond arm's reach. It's no secret that we've had a very bumpy journey, but in spite of that, we are here today for the purpose of celebrating our incredible accomplishments, anxiously awaiting the moment we get to cross the stage tomorrow. In reflecting upon these past 4 years, I realized not only the uniqueness of our college experience, but the uniqueness of our Catholic education as well. I've been in Catholic school since pre-K, so when I committed to PC, I realized then and there that I'll never escape Catholic school. I'll be the first to admit that I've never been perfect in my faith, but I've always found the messages within Catholicism to be applicable to the way in which we can understand and make a bit of sense of the world around us. All throughout my early years of school, it was always a tradition that one class would get to perform the Stations of the Cross. The Stations, otherwise known as the Passion of Christ, essentially serve as a snapshot of the sufferings that Jesus Christ endured during his last day on earth. When Jesus was sentenced to death, he was charged with the duty of taking up his cross and carrying it to where he would be crucified. The weight of the cross was enormous, causing him to suffer greatly, although many kind people around him helped to console and uplift him along the way. Throughout all the suffering, Jesus continued on, trusting in the plan God had for him, and eventually making what we know now as one of the greatest sacrifices ever made. Although we will never endure what Jesus did, his example, teaching us that we should trust in God despite the burdens we bear, should inspire us. Class of 2023, we were able to enjoy just one semester of being here before we were sent home by COVID. Many of us before we even had the chance to form real friendships or even figure out how to get to Al Mag in the science building, which I still don't know. The pandemic introduced to us a whole new set of obstacles that we'd have to navigate, on top of trying to figure out who we were, what we wanted to do, and what exactly we wanted out of life. In a sense, this became an invisible cross to carry until we would make it to our ultimate goal, that is, graduation. And look where we are now. I want my classmates here today to take a moment to acknowledge all of the good and the bad of the past 4 years. While it's true that we should never dwell on the past, it is important to recognize that time often has the power of desensitizing us to our former burdens, distancing us from the recollection of the strength, courage, and bravery required to continue moving forward. It is not to say that we are at all defined by what we go through, but rather it is the way in which we overcome these things that enables us to showcase the true character that lies at the heart of who we are. It is this character that I have observed in our class during these past 4 years, which I feel exemplifies everything that Providence College stands for. On top of the challenges placed upon our shoulders by the COVID-19 pandemic, I know many of us have also borne invisible burdens that others may not realize. These take many forms: homesickness, the loss of a loved one, loneliness, illness, financial hardship, or struggles with mental health. However, each and every single one of you continue to wake up every day, pick up your cross, and carry on. Not only that, I notice that our class is special and that we continue to uplift each other in spite of any personal hardships we may be facing. For that, I could not be any more proud to be a part of a class as resilient and as gracious as the class of 2023. Not only am I proud of you, but know that all of your friends are proud of you, your family is proud of you, all those watching over you are proud of you, your professors are proud of you, and the entire Providence College community, which we so lovingly call Friartown, is so endlessly proud of you. Not only for your achievements, but we are proud of you because you are courageous, because your character is unmatched, because you never gave up, and because you are a friar. But what does being a friar really mean? Part of it means sharing experiences within our community that bond us for life. Things like screaming Taylor Swift songs at the Dunk, 4 or 5 semesters of Western Civ, or going down a 20-foot water slide in an Eaton Street backyard. More than that, it also means exemplifying tireless resilience, unfaltering strength, and an unwavering faith in not only the plan God has in store for you, but faith in yourself. To be a friar is to wake up every morning and strive to be a better person than the one you were yesterday. It is to trust that God has your back, to be empathetic and exhibit compassion to all those around you, to endlessly seek the truth, and to call Providence College your home. Although we are leaving the physical grounds of PC, I can assure you that this does not mean we're truly leaving here. The real world is undoubtedly going to have its own host of obstacles that we're all going to be challenged with facing. However, I want to remind my classmates to continue to carry this friar spirit with you wherever you may go and in every aspect of your life. The same spirit that you've embodied these past 4 years will be the same spirit that enables you to conquer just about anything life could potentially throw at you. The Friar spirit does not leave you the second you leave campus, but will always remain with you because it has always been within you. There's a reason we all picked PC, and I believe it is because of these underlying traits that make us so similar to one another, that have drawn us to an institution that has provided the perfect place for us to continue to grow as individuals and as a class. It is in embodying this Friar spirit by continuing to remain resolute, continuing to persevere, continuing to be kind, and continuing to carry on in spite of the weight of your crosses, that you will continue to bring a little piece of Providence College with you everywhere you go and achieve anything it is that you choose to set your mind to. You all have already achieved so much in spite of all odds, and for this, I extend my most heartfelt congratulations to each and every single one of you. I wish you all the most happiness and the most luck in all you pursue outside of Providence College, and it is my dearest hope that you all may recognize your strength and your ability and utilize this by continuing to make a positive impact on the world as you all already have at Providence College. Though we may be going our separate ways, the Friar spirit that ties us together will always make us, as Dean Sear says, one heart, one heartbeat, and one community. God bless, and go Friars.
Sunday morning's commencement drew thousands of family members, friends, and graduates to the Amica Mutual Pavilion in downtown Providence. Here is the commencement address presented by Providence College President, Father Kenneth R. Sicard.
Congressman Magaziner, Lieutenant Governor Matos, Mayor Smiley, members of the clergy, members of the Providence College Corporation, the Board of Trustees and the President's Councils, members of the faculty and staff, alumni of Providence College, honorees, parents, families, and guests, and graduates of the class of 2023. Good morning and welcome to our 105th commencement exercises. I would like to extend a special greeting to Bishop Henning, attending his first Providence College commencement since beginning his episcopacy earlier this month. Bishop Henning, we are grateful for your presence here today, and we offer our prayerful best wishes as you begin your tenure as Bishop of God's people here in Rhode Island. Welcome. I would also like to welcome Father Alan Moran, the Prior Provincial of the Dominican province of St. Joseph, attending his first commencement in that role and as chair of the Providence College Corporation. Father is no stranger to PC, having served on the college's faculty earlier in his career. We're delighted to welcome you today, Father, and we also offer our prayers and best wishes for your leadership of our Dominican province and the Providence College Corporation. Welcome. Congratulations to all of today's graduates on your achievements and to the 6 remarkably accomplished individuals we will recognize with honorary degrees. As we take this moment to celebrate the class of 2023, we should also thank those who have made today possible. I ask all of today's graduates to please stand and recognize the critical role that your families, your friends, and your professors played in helping you achieve the goal you realized today. Please stand and let's acknowledge them. When I delivered my inauguration speech, which was at the beginning of your second year, I shared a quote from Pope St. John Paul II, which I think perfectly captures the theme of today's celebration. The late Pope wrote, "Remember the past with gratitude, live the present with enthusiasm, and look forward to the future with confidence." And so regarding the past, how lucky are you? As you look back on your 4 years here at PC, I know that you recognize how much you have to be grateful for. I see it in your faces. I've seen it in groups of students who have been taking pictures in caps and gowns in front of Harkins, or on the side of Dominic House, or in front of the grotto, always holding bottles of champagne and toasting each other. And in my role as president, I have the opportunity to meet with a lot of alums, and there is something special and unique about them and how much they love their years here at PC. Their eyes light up with excitement when they talk about their times and experiences and how years later they are still close to their PC friends. You're about to join their ranks, and like them, you have formed friendships and memories at PC that will last a lifetime. We sometimes talk about the secret sauce that makes PC so special, and I'd suggest that there are 3 ingredients. First, of course, is your academic experience, which was made possible through the passion and commitment of our outstanding faculty, coupled with the years of hard work put in by you. Your time and participation in the classroom and your commitment to study taught you to think critically and to communicate exceptionally well. Your search for veritas will help to define the way you live and work wherever life takes you. The second ingredient includes all the experiences you had at PC that have led to your personal growth. You are not the same person who arrived 4 years ago. We hope that in some way we have continued and built on the values you learned from your parents and families, and that we have brought you closer to becoming the amazing person God created you to be. I pray that PC's commitment to our Catholic identity, as well as the inspiration of the Dominican community and the faculty and staff who share in our work, have brought you closer to the God who loves and treasures you. And the third includes all the precious times you have enjoyed and the special bonds you have formed with faculty, friends, and roommates. Those encounters over lunch in Ray, at Mass in St. Dominic Chapel, at study sessions in the library, hanging out with friends in your apartments, at clam jams and beach parties and golf parties, and in chance encounters that brought you together as friends and friars. At PC, you made real and lasting connections with each other, and I wouldn't be surprised to learn in the future that you met your future spouse here. It happens all the time. Now, your class was one of the most strongly affected by the pandemic. You were barely here 7 months when you were told that you wouldn't be returning after spring break. But in the months that followed, you made it clear to us that even if things might be a little different on campus, you wanted to be back in person in the fall. And I am so happy that we reopened when we did. Even though you had to endure outbreaks and lockdowns and social distancing and masks, Q-tips in your nose twice a week, being exiled at the Marriott, you were amazingly patient, good-humored, and resilient. And years from now, you should clap. Years from now, you can tell your grandchildren that you were a college student during a global pandemic, and they'll be impressed. And when I think of the student experience, just being here in this building stirs up all kinds of emotions. In my mind's eye, I can picture hundreds of you and your fellow students among a crowd of 12,000 cheering on the Friars right here at the AMP 20 or so times a year every fall and winter. And let's be honest about this. The sound of Taylor Swift's voice will always bring us back to this time and place in our lives. She has become a part of my exercise playlist, and every time I hear her, I think of you. What fun we've had here. And so going back to the words of St. John Paul, it thrills me to see you look on your past with gratitude. The late Pope also suggested that you live the present with enthusiasm. And I think this is something you perfected during your years at PC. And you did this by savoring and enjoying the moments and opportunities you had. You poured yourself into your work, but you also never, ever passed up an opportunity to have fun. I imagine that for many of you, the events of the past week, all the senior events, and today's celebration is in some ways bittersweet. After all, you're leaving behind a college, a way of life, and a network of people you've come to cherish. Nonetheless, in this present moment, you have so much about which to be enthusiastic, so much to celebrate. You have truly earned the degrees you'll receive in a few minutes, and they will serve you well, as they have generations of Providence College graduates. And your faculty, the Dominican community, my colleagues in the administration, and I share your joy today because we have been blessed to share this journey with you. PC has provided you with a superb education rooted in the liberal arts and sciences, and has prepared you for true and authentic success in life. And we hope we have helped instill values that will sustain you as you continue to pursue truth, grow in virtue, and serve God and neighbor, exemplifying the Providence College mission in word and deed throughout your lives. The lives that lie before you are filled with potential and promise. You leave PC as critical thinkers, accomplished communicators, and creative problem solvers. You will make your mark on the world. Because of what you have experienced at Providence College, you should possess a rare combination of confidence and humility. This will set you on a path to success in all the ways that we can define it, and the opportunity to live a truly good life. This is a great gift that we share and that we celebrate together as friars now and forever. And finally, borrowing again from the words of St. John Paul, my prayer for you today is that you look forward to the future with confidence, whatever it holds for you. God bless you, God bless Providence College, and go Friars.
Jennifer McCollum O'Meara, a member of the class of 1993, who serves as president of the National Alumni Association, welcomed the class of 2023 as the newest members of the college's alumni community.
As the president of the Providence College National Alumni Association and a proud graduate of the class of 1993, I am honored to officially welcome the class of 2023 to the ranks of the Providence College alumni. Congratulations. Today, you are officially members of the Providence College alumni family. You join 57,000 other friars who represent a range of professional vocations and who reside across all 50 states and around the globe. We are confident that you, the members of the class of 2023, will follow this tradition of excellence and achievement, making your own significant contributions to society. You have already demonstrated that you are a class filled with grit, perseverance, and grace. Your ability to navigate unexpected situations and circumstances will help you thrive in your post-collegiate life. All of us are part of the Providence College family, whether we were the first in our family to attend Providence College or if we are part of a long Friar legacy. We are proud of all of our Friars, and we are grateful that you decided to continue your education and here at Providence College and become a part of the PC family. I know today may feel like a bittersweet celebration because you are sad to be leaving the place where you have thrived academically and socially, and where you made memories and lifelong friendships. I hope you are excited for the next chapter of your life. Speaking from experience, I promise you that your bond to PC will not end today. It will only grow. In the 30 years since my own commencement, my PC roommates are still my best friends. I've been blessed to develop relationships with Friars from all decades. These are people that I've met at work, in my neighborhood, cheering at different Friar athletics events, and through numerous programs sponsored by the Office of Alumni Relations. Friartown will always be your home. We hope you come back and visit during Homecoming 2023, which is September 29th through October 1st. And I'm looking forward to celebrating with you at your 5th class reunion in 2028. It is with a great sense of pride that I convey to every one of our new alumni and to your families, congratulations from your fellow alums. I send every wish for your happiness, good health, and personal success. And please remember, as it was on your first day when you set foot here on campus at Providence College, you are forever a Friar. God bless you, your families, Providence College, and go Friars. Thank you.
The next speaker at Sunday's commencement ceremony was Senior Class President Emily Kavanaugh, a history major with a political science minor from Chatham, Massachusetts. She shared these comments with her classmates.
Thank you, Provost Reed, and welcome, family, faculty, alumni, distinguished guests, and graduates, to the commencement ceremony of the class of 2023. Every one of us graduating here today has our own story to tell. But my hope is that as we reflect on our time at PC, we begin to uncover what our stories share. A sense of community, one that fostered an environment of support, encouragement, and inspiration. Freshman year, our stories started like most others, wiping our teary eyes as we were abruptly told to say goodbye to our parents at the end of the welcome mass. But that's where the traditional narrative ends. By the time spring break rolled around, there were rumors going around campus that we would not be returning after break. We all collectively joked about the absurdity of a global pandemic shutting down Providence College, and then we all collectively panicked as we realized we were spending the rest of our spring semesters at home. During our sophomore year, we were confined to our dorms, taking classes on Zoom, constantly speaking over our roommates who are also in class, and adjusting our cameras to hide the roommates that didn't have an 8:30 and were still in bed. But what our sophomore year showed us was that the class of 2023 was resilient and could rise to any occasion. The reason why the lockdown and twice-a-week testing did not ruin our time at PC was because we were not alone. We had each other. The roommates that we met in Ray and the best friends that we found in Guz became our extended family. It was in these days that we learned the power of community and friendship. Despite the bizarre start to our 4 years, the class of 2023 reached new heights academically, set records in athletics, and worked to change PC for the better. In the world of academics, members of the class have created their own majors, such as a major in global health equity. We have been among the first students of PC's communications minor, and thanks to the work of the classes that came before us, we have helped pass the new Black Studies major. All the while in our free time, we hosted podcasts, wrote books, led Friar Club tours, won intramural t-shirts, worked to improve residence halls and dining facilities, created new clubs like the Karaokes and It's On Us Friars. We planned spring concerts, and on the weekends, we pushed the limitations of our off-campus leases. We expanded our classrooms to the far corners of the world and everywhere in between. Some of us have gone to the Philippines to research affordable, shelf-stable vaccine alternatives. Others have spoken at the United States Ambassador's House in Ireland, and some have studied the life of Elaine Brown at the Stanford Archives in California. Class of 2023 student athletes set records in their respective sports. For example, on the women's swim team, a member of the class of 2023 set all 4 school records for the medley relay. Yeah. The class of 2023 also had the privilege of watching the men's basketball team in Big East tournaments, won Sweet 16 appearance, and take home the title of Big East champions last year. What all of these accomplishments have in common is that they were not reached alone. The Providence College community guided us and supported us to be the best that we could be. There are some people in particular that have supported our class as a whole and deserve an immense show of gratitude. First, to the members of the class executive board, Sinead Martin, Vice President, Jennifer Andronico, Treasurer. Her birthday's also today. Happy birthday, Jen. And to the class secretary, Hayden Lenz. Thank you for the hours of work you donated to the class this year. Because of you, our class was able to come together and make up for the semesters that we were kept apart. To our former class presidents, Luis Sanchez and Autumn Tangney, you emerged as leaders within our first days on campus, and you set the standard and foundation for our class to succeed. It was because of our professors and administrators that the class of 2023 was able to push the limits of the classroom. You taught us to read with a critical eye and approach decisions in an ethical way, and we thank you for your patience and dedication to our academic careers. And most importantly, thank you to all of our families, parents, and loved ones. Some of us may have forgotten to mention you in our senior thesis acknowledgements, but we couldn't have done it without your encouragement and support. Today is just as much a celebration of you as it is of us. As we sit here today, packing the dunk one last time, I don't wish luck for the class of 2023, because we have shown time and time again that we don't need it. What I wish for our class is that we all find the courage, dedication, and faith to pursue a path in life that we are passionate about, and more importantly, brings us joy. I can't wait to see the great things that we continue to accomplish. I'm rooting for every single one of you. So congratulations to the class of 2023. Continue to be resilient. God bless, and go Friars.
Sunday's ceremony concluded with a commencement address by humanitarian, actor, author, entrepreneur, health and wellness advocate, and philanthropist Hill Harper. Mr. Harper, upon whom PC also conferred an honorary degree on Sunday, delivered these remarks.
Hey, Providence College, it is a pleasure to be here once again. I'd like to first thank President Father Sicard, EVP Ann Manchester Moloch, Chair of Honorary Degrees Steve Morano, and Provost Reed, the members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, family, and friends, but most importantly, the Providence College Class of 2023. Now, since you all have already gotten your degrees and you've moved your tassels, I'm sure you want my speech to be as short as possible. I understand that, which reminds me of one of the greatest commencement speeches ever given by Winston Churchill. As he was growing up in age, he accepted a commencement address in a very prestigious London school. And as he got to, there was anticipation about what Winston Churchill was going to say. He walked up to the podium and he said, "Never, ever, ever give up." And he went and sat down. Mine's going to be a little longer than that, but the theme is the same. It's a great honor to stand before you as the commencement speaker in 2023, and I cherish every opportunity I have to come to Providence. It was my stomping grounds during college, and in fact, the name of this building when I was an undergrad up on College Hill, it was called the Providence Civic Center. And I know it's the Amica Mutual Pavilion, but I think the Dunk sounds better. That's just me. I agree. Now, despite all that has changed, two things remain the same: that this building is still the home of the Friars, and Providence College is still a beacon of faith, truth, hope, and light in Rhode Island and around the world. Commencement, of course, means a beginning or a start. And today, I want you all, the class of 2023, and every time I say that, I need you all to make some noise. The class of 2023. Thank you. I don't want you all to get quiet. I mean, think like this is black church time. Just make some noise. So, now that you have your degrees, let's just think back for a little second over these past 4 years, for some of you 5 or 6 years. Because some of you came across the stage summa cum laude, some came across the stage magna cum laude, some came across the stage thank you laude. So think back at your favorite moments here at PC. Maybe it was when you drove onto campus on move-in day and saw the iconic 3-world billboard saying, "Welcome to Friartown." Maybe it was when you stormed the court last year after the Friars won their first ever Big East regular season title. That's right. Or maybe it was the first time you caught your first glimpse of a friar, and I'm talking about a priest, not a basketball player, sipping on a beer at McPhail's. It was in those moments that I'm sure you felt the fullness of the Friar family. And it's with this, like any family, that for you, that you've persevered through the last 4 years. Bigger than moments that just ended up on Instagram or Be Real. Over the past few months, I've learned about some of those moments since I was here in January. And yes, as Emily said earlier, I learned about that email you received on March 11, 2020, and then 9 days later, letting you know that you wouldn't be going back to campus. And for those of you who returned, you ate, slept, Zoomed, socialized, I'm sure in a mask, and as you continued through with test after test, you answered a very simple question. In times of crisis, how does the Friar family respond? And you've spent the last 3 years writing your answer. You're never alone in Friartown. The truth of that simple phrase emblazoned on the front of your gray Nike hoodies was evident in the hours spent doing your homework with classmates and friends on Slavin Lawn, or evident of the folding chairs you lugged around campus so you could pop a squat next to someone who's sitting by themselves, or evident of the free food trucks that brought together friars of all backgrounds to celebrate common identity of being starving college students. You know, after thousands of COVID tests administered in Peterson, hundreds of campus-wide emails from Dean Sears, I heard he emailed a lot, and many semesters of Civ, you all made it. So pat yourself on the back for a second, but also remember how far you've come and how far you're going to go. Because this right here is a celebration of new beginnings. As soon as you walk out of here, it's about your future. And one of my favorite quotes about the future is a quote from Bobby Kennedy, where he said, "The future does not belong to those who are fearful of bold projects and new ideas, but rather the future belongs to those who can blend passion, reason, and courage into a personal commitment to the great ideals and enterprises of American society." You all represent passion, reason, and most importantly, courage. And we just watched you walk across this stage and into that next stage of your own future. And you're probably reflecting back on the food from Ray. Now, I got something to say about that. When I was here, I went to Ray, and I heard some complaints, and I didn't understand why. That was a fantastic cafeteria. It was much better than even the cafeteria I saw at Google, but you could make your own salad. You could go to the pasta bar. It was fantastic. So give it up one more time for Ray. And this is my point. As you walk forward, you're not going to have a Ray. It'll seem that you're going to be walking to a world that is much different than Friartown. Unfortunately, there are many things that your generation will have to face that you've inherited from mine, and I'm sorry for that. You know, there's a climate crisis that threatens our agriculture and our infrastructure and our very way of life. There's rising inequality that led to over 30% of the nation's household wealth to be concentrated in the hands of the wealthiest 1%. There are hate crimes on the rise. Nearly half of all American adolescents have struggled with some type of mental health disorder at some point in their lives. Gun violence is now the leading cause of death of children in the United States. These are all facts, but truthfully, these are facts that might be lived experiences for many of you. Temperatures and sea levels continue to rise here around my beloved Rhode Island. And there are those of you in this class of 22 who know about the struggles of poverty and racism or both firsthand. And many of you have personal experiences of anxiety and depression and know how painful it is to suffer in silence. All the while you've been prayed over by parents, loved ones, friars who keep asking you to keep Providence College from being the next Michigan State or Virginia Tech or Aurora or Uvalde or Sandy Hook or Parkland. You know, it breaks my heart that the challenges of this world probably no longer come as a surprise to you, and that they have instead become somewhat routine, normal, and expected. But I'm here to remind you that just because something might be expected does not mean you must accept it. Now more than ever, class of 2023. You guys got it. See, the world needs your leadership. The world needs your brilliance. The world needs your magnificence. The world needs you to step into your purpose. You know, I know that you've gained a lot of knowledge in the classroom and lessons you learned here in Providence College. Your education here has prepared you to answer a very specific call, the linking of faith and education. There's nothing more powerful. And how you answer that call is evidenced right here by some of your classmates. There's a Justin Babu whose passion for diversity, equity, and inclusion, coupled with his love for Providence College, led him to undertake a research study focused on the experiences of students of color on the campus, and a research study that led to concrete recommendations on how to ensure the Fryer family remains a community in which all feel like they belong. There's also a Bianca Labella, who has made a lasting impact, not only as a student leader here at PC, where she helped launch initiatives to support mental health and well-being for her fellow Friars, but also a social worker in the greater Providence community. She's inspired so many through her commitment of uplifting all around her. And what about Jacqueline Coppinger? If you ever visited McPhail on a Thursday night, I'm told that without fail, you would have seen, or rather heard, Jacqueline calling out a game of bingo. As trivial as that may sound, it's just one example of the mission that Jacqueline has been on since her first day in Friartown. A mission that makes sure that freshmen all the way up to seniors feel supported, feel heard, feel seen, and that their experience in Friartown is the one that she knows and loves. You see, these three friars are just an example of so many of you who have a vision for the world in what the world can be as opposed to what it is. And you all are going to work to make that happen. But it can't be real if, people may call you crazy if you follow your heart and follow your dreams. They may sow seeds of fear and doubt that the world, and say that the world can't be changed, or that you couldn't be the one to change it. But PC Class of 2023, you all are going to be the ones that change it. You all represent that. Because it's the odds are the same people who also told and sow fear and doubt are the same people who had dreams themselves that were told by someone that they couldn't do it. And I am speaking from firsthand experience. When I graduated from Harvard with 2 graduate degrees, I got some 6-figure job offers from some law firms in New York City. But I turned them down because I wanted to be a professional actor. When I was here in Providence going to college, I would go to Trinity Rep, or I'd come to PC and see theater. There was theater up at Brown, and I had an opportunity to say, this is what I want to do. This is what makes my heart beat faster. But so I graduated with these degrees, but I chose a job that you didn't even need a high school diploma to do. And people called me crazy, and of course my parents were thrilled. But I'd started acting when I was young, and it was something that I loved, but I didn't know, could I actually make a career of it? Could I do it for a living? And after all these years, the answer is yes, because I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV. I've always wanted to say that. Thank you. Because I grew up watching greats like Sidney Poitier and Harry Belafonte, who did so much to redefine roles that black men could play on stage or screen, who used platforms to drive positive social change. I wanted to, more than anything, to have impact like those men. And even though I was told by so many that I could not, I kept acting anyway, because I felt deep down that the change I wanted to impact was a specific way that I had to live through my own purpose. So yes, I applied myself in school, but I gave my all to acting, a thing that made my heart sing and my heart beat faster more than anything else. And I did not catch my break early on. I had all these graduate degrees, but I worked in a diner every night from 7 in the morning, from 11 at night to 7 in the morning. I'd go home smelling like burgers and fries, so that my days could be free to audition and continue my acting classes. And what kept me going through those long days and long nights was the belief that I was actually walking into my purpose, that I was waiting tables in my purpose, that I was washing dishes in my purpose, that I was sweeping floors in my purpose. And now, almost 3 decades later, I know for sure that I was. Because through acting, I've been able to show the world, including all the young people out there, that doctors can look like me, that intelligence officers can look like me, that crime scene investigators can look like me, that elected officials can look like me, that garbage men can look like me. Black actors can play all of those roles and many more. And with my platform, I've been able to write these best-selling books to inspire young people, to mobilize resources to support people. For instance, in Flint, Michigan, after one of the largest public health crises in the state's history, and advise the President of the United States, who I had the honor to go to school with, on our nation's approach to fighting cancer after being diagnosed with cancer myself. I've been able to do all of that simply because I ended up being surrounded by people that told me I could. I often say that fear stands for false evidence appearing real. 99.9% of the fears you carry are false. Surround yourself as you go forward with people who encourage you to take more risk. Because what's amazing, PC Class of 2023, is that barring some outlandish pandemic, you're going to live to be like 150 years old. You do know that, right? Which means you can have 3 or 4 different 20-year careers with 10 years in between each to learn a new skill. Don't think the way my generation and previous generations thought, that you just choose one thing to do and that's it. You can do so many things. You can live a life so varied, so different, if you follow your heart and follow your passion. So how do you want to answer your call? And how do you not want to let folks talk you out of something that deep down in your heart you know is connected to your purpose? You will all live a life prescribed and hear and see the fears, the doubts, and the lies that other people want you to accept as true. But I want you to step out on faith and believe. Believe me when I say this world needs all of you from all of you. You know, I trust that each of you make the right choice. And as I close, I'll just end with this quick story. When I was here in January, I wanted to take my time, you know, walking on and walking around. I get kind of nostalgic and emotional when I come back to Providence. You'll find that when you come back here, the same will happen to you. What you'll see will remind you of these last 4 years and friends and experiences and things that won't be repeated in the rest of your life. And those emotions will come up. So I was walking around campus, and it was January, so it was a little cold, and I strolled down Eaton Street through Moore Hall and along the brick path that leads from St. Dominic Chapel to Phillips Memorial Library. And when it was finally time for me to head to Peterson for my speech, I made my way over there. And you know, I was probably 20 feet away from the slaving doors, and a student was walking out. And it looked like she was kind of in a hurry, so I fully expected her to just keep on walking and let the door close behind her. After all, I was at least 20 feet away. And I was kind of in my moment, just taking it all in, taking my sweet time. But I very quickly realized that she was not going to let that door close before I walked through it. And when I finally did, she flashed me a smile and she said 3 words: "Friars hold doors." It was not until much later that I discovered the significance of that phrase here at Providence College. I can't tell you how honored and moved I am to now be a member of the Friar family. That honorary doctorate that was just conveyed means that I can join the alumni board. See, just like all of you should. But what that means to me is that friars hold doors open for others, sure, while entering a building or exiting a building, but it also means that friars also always help those in need. You know, graduates, the past 4 years you've come across your fair share of doors that stood between you and some goal that you set for yourself, doors that were uncomfortable, doors that just set out something that was a little bit more difficult than maybe it should have been. And some doors were heavier than others. They required more strength to open than maybe you even believed you could muster. And although you made it all the way to the door, perhaps you consider just turning around and trying to find another one that wasn't quite as hard to open, like opening a Sears email. But every time you dug a little deeper and you pulled a little harder than you ever thought you could, you found a way to open the door, because friars hold doors. And just like the friars you are, you didn't just open the door, you held the door for those coming behind you. PC Class of 2023, as you go forth into this world and seek to make a change that only you can, you'll come across others trying to make a change that only they can make. But because of how life goes sometimes, they may have hit a rough patch and fallen down on their luck. But see, you're a PC friar, and you recognize that all they need might just be a little help with the door. They might be on the verge of a scientific breakthrough, but just because of a breakdown, they just need a little help with the door, and a PC friar can do that. They might be about to launch a world-changing social enterprise, but because of some type of discrimination in the banking system, they may need a little help with the door, and a PC fryer can do that. They might be returning from serving in the military, but because of some visible or invisible wounds, they need a little help with the door, and a PC fryer can do that. They might be one audition away from landing their first role on Broadway, but because of the rising cost of living, they just need a little help with the door, and a PC fryer can do that. They might even be preparing to launch some type of activist or political campaign to run for public office because the system favors insiders, not outsiders. They just may need a little help with the door, and fryers can do that. When you come across these people, no matter what they look like, where they come from, whether they know about Providence College and its greatness, whether they know about Friartown, whether they know what this amazing institution represents or not, remember, you are a friar, and that friars hold doors. And who knows, maybe by holding the door, you will leave it open for thousands more to walk into their destiny. Providence College Class of 2023. I am so immensely proud of you, and I am so immensely excited to see what your future holds. Go forth with passion, with reason, with courage. Thank you all. God bless you. And go Friars!
Thank you for listening to the Providence College Podcast. Today, a celebration of the class of 2023. For producer Chris Judge, I'm Joe Carr. Until next time.